is Moss, and I'll be talking about my IPLP, which is my goals for this semester. The one that I worked on the most this week was probably classroom management. The first day that I did my teaching on Tuesday, I feel like it was probably the best class that I have done so far. And I think it was mostly because I was firm with the students and I was able to move their magnets, like I mentioned last week, where this is kind of their point system, and if they get into a yellow, they're not allowed to get a candy at the end of the day. And so I gave them a warning. I let them know what my expectations were, which really helped. Once it's even in the yellow, they can take it back. And some of them were pretty upset that they did move into the yellow. But I was like, hey, you weren't doing what you were supposed to. I set up the expectations of what you're supposed to do, and you weren't doing it. And you weren't paying attention, so I have to move you to the yellow. And some of the students at the end of the day were like, can you please move me back to green? And then other students would be like, no, you can't change the magnets. And I would be like, I would move you back because I really love you guys as students, but because of this, and this, I can't move you back into the green. So I think it worked really well. And when I taught on Thursday, I said the same things with the expectations of moving magnets. And gratefully, I didn't have to move anyone's magnets because they were really good on Thursday for me. And so that was super exciting. But I spent my 90 minutes researching things that I could do for classroom management. I watched 3 to 4 videos about different things, and I wrote notes on what I wanted to try to do. And so some of those things that stood out were never shout, and I talked about never shouting because once you get to an above regular voice level, the students will try to match that, and so they'll shout too. So never shout. And then there was a bunch of ideas for things to do to get the students' attentions or to get them quiet. One of those things is marshmallow in the mouth, which you like take like an invisible marshmallow and you pop one and then the other. So you have 2 marshmallows in your mouth. And so the students have bubbles in their mouth. And so that was good. Another thing that I saw that I'm going to try is to try to be more sing-songy, speaking to get their attention because it's different from a regular voice. And so that my thing was to have to get the students' attention, you could start stretching, which I'm thinking like you reach up, you reach down to your toes. If you're bending down, touching your toes, or like putting your hands up, you're not going to be talking to your partner or your neighbor, right? Another thing, and I've done this my last practicum, and I haven't even used it in this practicum, which I'm surprised about because it worked so well. But one of the ideas from the video was Simon Says, and I literally used this in 3rd grade at Adams Elementary, and it worked so well. The students would pay attention, they loved playing the game. The only thing is, though, you can get sucked into playing the game longer than you would want to because they get super excited about the competition. And so you have to be either really good at talking fast and really good at like tripping them up so the game goes fast, or just do 1 or 2 and then be like, okay, and Simon Says everyone's ready for the lesson, right? But I feel like as soon as you say Simon Says, the students get so excited and they automatically be quiet. So you're like, okay, well, we can play Simon Says later, but I'm glad everyone's paying attention. The thing that wasn't talked about in the video that I tried to do this week was to have more positive reinforcement. And that includes when the students are quiet, that I praise them for being quiet. For example, as they're talking and being loud, I would say, hey everybody, I need everyone to be quiet so that we can get along with the lesson, right? But when they are quiet, I'd be like, thank you guys so much for being quiet. I really appreciate it. Another example that I found on the videos that I watched were the example of Mona Lisa. So in the beginning, you would set the expectation of Mona Lisa and show her picture and show her behavior. So her mouth is closed, she's present, she's looking at forward, and she's ready to go. The teacher says Mona, and the students say Lisa, so Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa. We want to be like Mona Lisa in our behavior. Another example that I found was that students can demonstrate the problem to get the students' attention. For example, instead of me doing the problem on the board, I could have a student that I know knows how to do the problem, and then see where that goes. Especially if we had instruction beforehand, but the students are kind of losing focus, there can be a student doing the problem instead, so the students would pay attention to their fellow classmates. Another idea is doing pair shares. Instead of through it, I could have the students go through what the answers that they had and have them share with their partner first, and then we would just go through the correct answer so that no one else the incorrect answer. Another one that I tried to do this week that was in the video, you could do 1, 2, and 3, and 4, or A, B, C, D. So that could be very helpful, and it keeps the students quiet. This was a video about if you have lost control of your students, you could have a meeting with them and think about like the rules and procedures in the classroom and the punishments. And you could, with this, you can send a paper home and have their parents sign off on it, basically, and the students agreeing with, like, these are the rules that we agreed on. I will be quiet, I will be respectful. And then you can redirect to those rules because they signed it and agreed to it. And you promised to do these things, and these are the consequences of not following your action. So it would have the rules, procedures, and the punishments with it. Another thing that I want to try that was talked about was a point system or money system. I spent about an hour trying to make reward money. If the students are ready for class, if they're on time, if they're quiet, if they're doing what they're supposed to do, like a bell ringer, they'll get 1 point. Then if they're late, you'll take away a point. So it's helpful for the students to be on time and to be ready. You also can get rewards with it. But if you don't have enough points, you won't get those rewards. Making my own moss bucks, and I think it looks really cool. Insert a picture of what those look like. But I'm super excited to use it because I think that we shouldn't always reward them with gifts, but it could be very helpful to do that to have motivation, especially at the end of the year because it's very crazy. Summer's about to start and exciting to get prizes at the end of the school year. And the last thing that I learned was to get the students' attention, I could say random things. So the example that they had in the video was something like, hello, my little mutants, and they'd be like, mutants? We're not mutants, like that type of thing. And I don't think I would say anything like that, but I would probably say like something like gibberish. I would say like flim 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 fleur, and they would be like, what did she say? And I'd be like flim 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 fleur, and then I could get their attention maybe. I don't know, I haven't tried it yet, but that's what it said in the video to say random things. So we'll try this. And then as well as my other goals, I tried to my best with confidence. That first lesson on Tuesday was great. Confidence, and then they made tents with their desks, and after that it was crazy. I didn't have a chance to work on my science labs lesson. Overall, my class management and confidence goals went really well. So I'll work hard on this for the next week and come up with something else that I can work on for my IPL goals. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that if there's anything that stood out to you that you want to try, thank you guys so much and have a great day.